it even shittier. Making it less pleasant to listen to.
You like this, Reddit?
Yeah.
Well, you know what's great about
this
doing
punk?
this is that like I'm always the one eating on the podcast, but all the people get mad and they're like, "Tell Stav." They just assume he's doing it because he's morbidly obese.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, the fat shaming, it's real, son. Anytime there's a smell, hey, fatty.
But
why,
you know
why
what
you
is
smell like that?
What is true is that if anyone else is eating, then Stav is also eating.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Never. Every time we do the show, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to order food if you want to get food or whatever. He's like, nah, I'm trying to be good. I'm like, I drank some juice earlier. You know, he did some blender bullshit. And he's like, nah, I'm trying to be like good about it. See, first of all, you can't be dieting if there is no diet.
True.
It's not just a general idea of I'm not going to order food.
I'm just
Let me
never
order
gonna
food,
eat.
and he's like, "Oh, let me get one of them dumplings." And it's like, just order food. We know you're going to do this every time, and I understand it's addiction for you, but like, how fucking annoying would it be if you were like, let's say you and all your friends were crack addicts,
Right.
And you're like, "Yeah, man, we're going to get some crack. Do you want any
No,
crack?"
I'm good. I'm a Jehovah's
good.
Witness now. I'm
He's like,
done.
"Yeah, let me just get a rock," and it's like, no,
You waited for me.
every time.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worry about that as a girlfriend all the time because all I want all the time is just like 2 fries. And I know...
Girl problems. Hashtag girl problems.
I know. I'm trying to represent, and I know that it's terrible, but like I don't want a whole thing of fries. I just want 2 fries.
Well, Stav's the fat girl from that Chris Farley Kai of Some sketch, which is the greatest sketch of all time.
It's...
Lay off.
Yeah. Lay off me. I'm starving.
This is my most styled shirt on a side note.
It's a great shirt.
Came through. Trans for y'all. Trans-Siberian Orchestra was good.
I'm just chewing directly
No.
into the mic.
2 of Cumtown's favorites, Trans and Siberia.
Yeah.
And
but
orchestras.
But they're not the trans in the traditional sense.
Nah, I think they just like...
Or I guess
they
in the
all-
contemporary sense, not in the traditional sense.
They just rode together. I think
Yeah.
that's all that is.
They just go across Siberia
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, like that fucking movie. You ever seen that shit?
No.
You know, you ever think it's like kind of disappointing that like this is it, we've maxed out the genders. There's not going to be any new weird things.
Well, we
to be
just
into.
decided
that's
that
what you
other
think.
than fucking
that
children.
they can all be.
Yeah.
That's really the last frontier.
1,000 years from now, people are going to be having dicks off their ankles. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, it'll be
That's-
something else.
That
I
would
think
be
you know what?
very
I think
convenient.
probably at some point pedophilia is going to not in America
Be normal again? Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be another culture.
Well, I mean, it is normal in other cultures.
Yeah, it already
which is
is.
very
Where?
in like
pick-me shit?
Afghanistan and stuff.
Muslims.
Yeah,
They get down like
Yeah.
that?
all of
Muslims.
Islam. Yeah.
I thought they weren't allowed to fuck at all.
No, you can. They all like in Afghanistan.
know,
they all have like
yeah.
child
Kids.
slaves and stuff.
You know that
Damn.
story is that the army was like, there were soldiers like,
Yeah.
I just stopped these tribal leaders from raping a boy, and then
Yeah.
the colonels are like,
Oh my god!
oh yeah, you got to let them just
Yeah,
fuck
you gotta
those
let that
boys.
ride.
I
Yeah.
forgot
You
about
gotta just
that.
let them fuck all those boys, and you're not allowed to talk about it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and that
the-
story came out like 5 years ago.
Fuck,
Yeah.
dude.
So it
So
hasn't
all
gotten
those boys
better.
are 10 now. You know?
Getting ready for Little League?
Some of them, the ones that weren't murdered, I guess.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yes. There's a lot of.
I wonder if pedophiles get defensive about that. When somebody's like, "This guy's out there raping and murdering children," he's like, "I don't murder them.
Yeah.
Probably.
You're making me out to sound like a monster," which I am, but like not to that
Less
degree.
of a monster. Right.
Yeah.
You're like, if you're not the guy who's like trapping people in a hut behind your house.
Mhm.
What's worse, fucking rich kids or poor kids?
Poor.
You know how, like, pedophiles, they pick on...
Oh, it's both
Just
bad.
kids.
I shouldn't have answered that
Yeah,
quickly.
see? You just got blog
It's
trapped.
both bad.
You just got blog trapped,
But it is sadder when it's poor children.
right?
Mhm.
Sorry.
That's just a natural effect
It's
of money.
true.
Yeah, I mean, like if Barron Trump was sexually assaulted, would you care? Keep in mind, he's like 10, but he's also like 6'5". People don't realize how freakishly
Very
tall
large
that-
boy.
He's an enormous child.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
bizarre.
He comes off the bench for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
He's like 4.5 years old, and he's probably got like a size 15 shoe, and he can dunk.
Looks great. It looks great in a suit.
He can definitely
you know?
touch glass,
Yeah.
for sure.
Good haircuts. I feel like, would I feel I don't know. I don't want to. That's. I don't want to answer that
Say
question.
If you'll feel bad or not.
Yeah, I would feel bad. I feel bad for Barron Trump. His dad sucks.
He seems like
he's in a rough spot.
in a tower.
I feel
You know
bad
what I mean?
for him and Tiffany, and I don't feel bad for the other three,
Yeah.
which is maybe unfair.
I
But
want to be the guy that exclusively goes after Barron and Tiffany Trump on social media.
yeah,
I want to call the older brothers Lenny and Squiggy.
Lenny and Squiggy.
Yeah, they look like a little Lenny and Squiggy.
I feel like that gives them so much. That makes me feel so much more sympathetic towards them.
Well, maybe I shouldn't.
Because then it's like they're fun, they're jazzy, they're fun.
Yeah.
They
I've never
could be in a fun
said this
band.
publicly. I've said it in like private circles. I don't know if
Ooh.
I should say it out loud.
I can't believe you're saying something that you haven't said on the podcast before.
This just in.
Oh, that's a
An
deep
exclusive.
burn. that's fucking rough.
Man.
I'm joking.
Yeah, well, it fucking hurt. So,
Yeah, your fake joke hurt for real.
yeah.
I feel like we're much nicer than like Stav and Adam.
Oh,
We're
originally,
like
yeah.
cuts deep
friendlier.
to like a fucking
Oh no!
a problem I have about myself creatively and like the direction the podcast is going. That's not like a
Yeah.
I make fun of Stav for being fat. I'm not like hurting his feelings about his real insecurities.
Oh no!
He loves
didn't-
being fat.
Yeah,
Well, I'm sorry.
that's his moneymaker. His
Duh.
whole wide ass fucking body.
Best fat comedians. Gabriel Iglesias' number was 1 through 5, but
Sure.
number 6 is Stavros.
I
Yeah.
agree. I'm not trying to say Stav shouldn't be fat.
Well, yeah.
I wouldn't say that.
There's a comedian who I'm friendly with, but not like good friends with by any means. Nice guy, and we've always had friendly interactions, but he looks exactly like Donald Trump Jr. Or maybe Eric Trump, whichever the blonde-haired one is.
Oh, I don't. I think it's Eric
Squiggy,
Trump.
to be specific.
Squiggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he looks exactly like him. And I've pointed it out to other people. And he's a nice guy, and people like him, and he's funny too. So they're like, he doesn't look like that. And then I show them,
Like, look.
and then they have to be
side
like,
sides.
that's mean. That's They're like, that's. I mean, you're right, but it's mean.
I feel like Donald Trump and Eric Trump are they're like a type. There are a lot of people that look like them. That are just sort of
other
like,
people whose last name is Trump.
Yeah. That's a made-up last name, right?
Yeah.
We already...
You know what's funny to look at like pictures of the royal family and how they have the same facial features going back to like the 1200s.
Jesus.
That's how fucking inbred they are. You can
Oh.
find like old paintings and they get the same nose.
They spent 200 years fucking each other just to get it set.
1,000
Like that.
years, dude.
No, straight 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
That's how long the house of Bimblybrook has been around.
Damn.
The house Atreyu. I think
Makes-
that's the British family's name.
Really?
That's
No,
from
I don't know.
Yeah, I was like,
Neverending
the band. I was
Story.
like, oh.
Yeah, I
That's,
think Atreyu's a metal band.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
don't
say
know.
they're kind of like trapped.
it's like
kinda
one of
in
the. That's one of the guys from Neverending Story.
What, House Atreyu?
Yeah, Atreyu.
Oh, maybe that's where the band gets its name.
Hell yeah.
Probably.
Anyhow, the House Atreyu is the kingdom of England, the king's house, and the name of the house is going back thousands of years.
Thousands of...
When I was growing up,
Fucked cousins.
one of my friends was, her family was like related. I guess they were like, you know, they're related to the Spencers, like to Princess Diana's
Spencer's
family.
The Spencer's
Which is
Gifts
related
family?
to Princess
The
Diana.
heir to the Spencers.
Yeah.
People don't know this. That's why they killed her.
Yeah.
Is because
It's because she turned 50.
she
And
turned,
like, somebody came up and honked her tits, and then they killed her.
and then
You're
that's how
over the
she-
hill. You old broad. All their gifts there are like, you're 50. You still like boobs?
I remember Spencer's gifts being a lot of like the stuff that I bought was a lot of like fairies. There were like they had these like fairy print shirts. There were like goth fairies, and that was the vibe. Very specific.
You shopped at Spencer's Gifts?
Yeah, it was like Spencer's Gifts and Hot Topic. They were like the same for like 6 months. When I was
I
in,
don't
like,
think I've
sixth
ever
grade.
bought anything at either one of those stores.
Yeah,
I definitely used to go to Spencer's every time I went to the mall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you go in there and look at stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it was like beating off related, but I would never buy anything in there.
Yeah, I was looking for shit to jerk off to later.
Yeah. Oh.
Source material.
To remember things.
that's
Yeah, yeah.
even worse. You just went to Spencer's Gifts to
Just check out
jack
the posters
off?
and be like, oh.
That's why I would go to Auntie Anne's.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
I would
To
read the
to
name
the pretzel
Anne and
shape.
then imagine a woman.
Who
I
was
would
shaped
imagine
like a
beautiful
pretzel.
woman who was
I
good
bet
at
it's
cooking.
short for Annabelle.
Yeah,
There you
You
go.
get married, the whole house smells like yeast. You don't know if it's from the pretzels or a pussy.
Hey.
That's why I always went to Wetzel's Pretzels.
Yeah.
I would go there and
Pussy
just
Wetzel's.
jack off
It was
to
already
someone named
Pussy
Wetzel.
yeah.
Pussy Wetzels right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my pussy's a Wetzel.
I have a place called, instead of Pretzel Time, it's Pretzel Dimes, and it's like hot women that serve you pretzels.
Okay.
I'd go there.
That'd be sick.
I'm
Yeah,
turned
I
on.
guess. I couldn't think
Let's
of a
do
pretzel
it.
time.
Get some Puerto Rican mommies down there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put the baby oil on them.
Puerto Rican Pretzel Time.
It's just butter and like little salt crystals.
Yes,
all over.
just all over.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bitch named Lucinda. Yeah,
Is that a Puerto Rican name?
I think so.
Yeah.
It might be. I'm not sure though. I can't really call it.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
What's Puerto Rico mean? Port Rich?
Yeah, but Richport.
Richport.
Richport? That'd
Yeah.
be a better name. If they changed it to that, I guarantee you they'd let them in the U.S.
They get
Ooh.
they get full
It'd be a
Full
statehood.
state
statehood, yeah.
immediately. It'd be a
Richport.
town in Connecticut.
You have to just tell Trump that it's Richport,
Yeah.
and he would.
It's a beautiful country. I found out recently most of them aren't even Spanish. Some of them are black. Who knew that?
No one else knew that. It was just me.
I asked President Xi about it. Basically, any country I don't know about, I go to China and I ask the president about it. President of China tells me about all the countries. We got a great relationship. He's a beautiful man.
Trump sounds like Tony Bennett, and I love
Oh,
it, son.
cool.
That shit is
Very
tight.
soothing.
Hell yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if he said ladies and gentlemen, you would love him. Did you read that Atlantic article about the slave?
I did.
Not
did.
a little Trump slave?
No,
It's
just
like
some
Filipino
guy.
guy wrote this like fucking long read about how he grew up with a slave in Seattle.
Yeah.
His Filipino immigrant family had a fucking slave.
Slaveless in Seattle. That
And
was
then
me.
he's like, yeah.
That was my thing.
Yeah,
Slaveless in Seattle.
yeah, and well, it's just yeah, this,
White supremacist Meg Ryan.
yeah.
Just complaining the whole time.
Uh,
Yeah, it was a crazy article because he just keeps the slave is the moral.
Oh yeah,
of the story.
That's
he's
the
like
end of
when
the
I turned
story. Just
40,
like-
there's nothing to do with the slave except I kept her. But now I was nice to her. Here's a picture of me giving her a hug. You
I
know?
paid her $200 a week
Yeah,
and told her
right.
she didn't have to cook, but she still did.
Yeah, yeah.
Ugh.
And it's like he
200
continued
ain't a good
having a
rate.
slave. He was just a better slave owner than his parents.
Yeah.
And fucking and all the people were responding to it and they're like, "Wow, this is so beautiful and
I
nuanced."
know.
And it's like,
people cry.
no, this guy should be in jail.
Yeah, no.
Well, he's
that's a
lucky.
slave right
I mean,
there.
he
He died.
died. He's dead.
He died.
But the thing today, they found that he like lied to the obituary. They had an obituary for her in the Seattle Times or whatever the fuck newspaper they have up there.
Not Slavery Magazine. Not owning slaves.
And they
weekly.
said
Yeah.
that they were like, oh, she was just someone asked her to take care of the family in the Philippines, which they didn't ask her, they made her.
Yeah.
And then she was so devoted to the
Asked at
family,
gunpoint.
pretty much, or like you'll starve. And then they took her to America, and she had to stay with them because she like for a while was there illegally. Anywho, lied to the.
Oh, he tried to justify it in the article too, saying like, "Oh, well, you know, if we let her go back home, then we would get in trouble with immigration." So we
Good, you
couldn't let her-"
should. You owned a slave.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You should get in a lot more trouble than just immigration. You what the fuck?
Well, I just as a white dude, it was so great to read that story
I
because it's like, well, that's one you can't put in my column.
Yeah, that's
That one is not on me.
well, I did see a bunch of
I
responses that were
connected to
like,
you anyway. Nick
Yeah.
Mullen said.
Right, I'm just dusting my hands off. And
Nicole Mullen said I could do it.
because they were like, this is just like Filipino culture where everyone just has a bunch of slaves. Even the slaves have slaves, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I
On a
don't know
related-
what's going on over there.
it's
but-
like on Dharma and Greg, where Dharma's dog has a dog.
Shit.
I
You remember
don't
that?
know. I never watched
Oh
that
man,
show.
I did watch Dharma and Greg. Yeah.
Dharma and Greg was great.
Yeah, that was pretty
How
good.
did
Better
their
than two
dog
guys
have
in
a
a pizza
dog?
place or whatever.
Because Dharma was like the fun one, and
Yeah.
she had a dog, but
Quirky.
Yeah, but like her dog also had a dog, and the boyfriend
doesn't
was like,
explain
"Oh,
anything."
brother."
You didn't explain anything.
The second dog was Filipino for
Yeah,
reference.
it was.
Oh, I see.
Well, interestingly enough, the dogs were eaten by a Filipino family on the show. I'm
That's how
allowed
fourth
to make
season
those
is.
jokes.
Oh.
They own slaves.
Yeah.
Look, my
I'm-
takeaway from this was that all Chinese people grow up owning a slave.
That's
what
Chinese people.
I can see that. Yeah, yeah.
Well, you know what I mean by Chinese is Chinese-style Asian people.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Sure,
you gotta
sure.
be careful when you say Asian now. Indian guys get mad and they're like, "What? You mean not me? I'm Asian too."
I don't
No,
understand
we're
why
talking-
that would be it. Why I feel like that's excluding themselves. I don't know.
Yeah.
Talking about the type of Asian with the bangs on the sides. You know how it's like little pincers? You know how they
The
do
kind
that?
that can't grow
Bangs
beards.
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
side.
Yeah, you never seen that look? Where it's
No.
like two like side bangs that like wrap around, they frame your face. So it looks like you got parentheses over your face.
Yeah.
I mean, I can
call
imagine
them-
what
call
you're
them,
saying, but I don't.
Mark Echo sweatpants. Asian. Like skate shoes and fucking.
Yeah, yeah.
But on your face.
Yeah.
And that's an Indian thing.
No, no, no.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, it's like a Pacific Islander, Southeast Asian kind of.
Okay,
For
cool.
sure.
I just want to make sure that I'm like stereotyping correctly.
Yeah, yeah, no, you got it
Okay.
right. We
Cool.
good.
Cool.
My stepsister
We
used to
did-
date a Filipino guy who was really into Insane Clown Posse.
Sick.
Interesting.
Oh, man.
Hmm.
Which definitely means he was breakdancing a few years before that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, I'm sick of dancing.
Yeah.
Time for the real.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be insane. You guys ever think about Juggalos? Like, shit, you ever consider giving it a run?
know
No,
what?
by the
That's-
time I was aware of it, everyone, like Vice was already like,
Yeah.
oh, we all went to the ICP gathering.
I mentioned it on the show already, but like that guy that my stepsister dated, he brought over some like Insane Clown Posse DVD, and I was probably 15 at the time, and I was like super susceptible to becoming an ICP guy.
You're close. I
Like,
yeah.
Me at 15 could like it was like I was like a cunt hair away from being
Yeah.
like, fuck yeah,
the
dude.
Fago
hair.
scale.
They're
on the Fago
clowns.
scale.
Yeah,
Did you say a cunt hair?
yeah, that's an expression.
Yeah.
You ever
What?
heard that?
One kind of, you
No.
never heard that?
No, yeah, cunt hair away from.
I have not heard that.
You ever heard someone
I-
call lips dick suckers?
Yeah?
I'm gonna punch you right in your dick suckers.
Maybe not like
Heard
that,
that?
actually.
Yeah, that's a Woodbridge thing.
Interesting. No, I'm sorry. Just I actually didn't know if I heard you correctly.
Yeah.
But
Well,
you were,
it's sort of like an older, respectful term from the antebellum South.
it sounds old. It sounds like a very British thing to say.
Oh yeah,
Like one of the
well, that's me. I use British slang.
Yeah.
gun hair the most pristine.
Yeah.
I
of the
like
hairs.
it better than, I don't know, I guess like pube.
Yeah,
It's a better word than that.
because pube's a little too general.
Yeah.
Pube could even be armpit hair.
It
on,
could
on
be-
some real shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely more like gender specific.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry. You almost joined ICP.
Yeah, I almost
Became-
joined ICP.
You almost became a juggalo.
Well, no, he brought that DVD over, and I remember watching it for 15 minutes and being like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my fucking
He
life.
took you a little too close.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Should have kept you at a nice safe distance.
Because I remember like he had like we had like a similar taste in movies and shit. Like he liked cool movies. So and he was like, yeah, this is like Insane Clown Posse.
ICP guys get it sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not every day, but you
Yeah.
you can fuck with them a few times a week.
Yeah. Well, it is like it's music for like if you're a white dude that wants to listen to rap, but you're probably like white trash and racist, and you're too dumb for Eminem. That's what.
Ooh,
Yeah.
where
that's a
ICP
great way to put it.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Where it's like you understand the angst of Eminem, but it's not twisted enough.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You need like a Joker element.
you sitting at the crib like, why doesn't Eminem say the N word?
Yeah.
He's so good at rap, he could.
Why isn't he twisted? Why doesn't he understand my darker elements that just desire a chaotic mind?
Like the transcends.
Yeah. It's like we came up with a new version of the Simpsons called the Transcends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun, dun, dun.
Bart Simpson is trans. Bart Simpson is trans now.
Bart
Dun, dun,
Simpson
dun,
is
dun.
trans.
Thank you guys.
There was a lot.
I'm glad
yeah.
you guys took the lead with that one.
Yeah,
I know, you
felt
were
it was time. It was
hesitating.
time.
Well, I wanted to give it to you because
Yeah.
a big
You
part of
do
the
us a
show
lot.
is doing the parody songs.
For sure.
You know,
I feel
Yeah.
like
we all
we-
take Adam. It took Adam a long time to get comfortable doing them because he's very bad at them. He's probably, honestly, like the worst person in the entire world at coming up with parody songs.
Because the nigga listen to Paul Simon and shit all the time.
Yeah.
You can't parody that
It's 'cause of
shit.
the gay ass music he
Yeah.
listens to.
fucking
He wants
acoustics.
to do his talk parodies.
He can't.
Right.
Duran parodies don't work. You know what I mean? It ain't going.
Check out this Roxy Music parody I came up with. This is like my ELO parody.
I did think of a good Tom Club one just now.
Yeah, what's that?
What you gonna do when you get out of jail? I'm gonna eat some cum.
Okay. All right.
What do you consider cum? Yeah, you get the rest of it. It goes.
That was good.
Thank you.
That's fun. Dana, you got one?
No.
What's your favorite band?
My favorite I don't know.
No, you have to say it.
No.
Wow, I honestly don't know, and I don't feel comfortable saying it.
Why?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Right now, I'm just thinking of...
Trying to impress the cum heads is what it is.
No.
Looking for that perfect fit.
Yeah, you got to just let it go. I like just embarrass myself constantly on this show, and there's just like very little consequence for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. No, I mean, who cares? I'm leaving.
You just get inundated
I'm never...
with messages with people telling you you're wrong,
Oh.
and then you just ignore them.
No. This is... I wish that it was about the audience, but I feel like this is the panic that I get whenever someone asks me my favorite anything, book, movie,
There's
music.
so many options.
I'm just like, I don't know, what was the thing I listened to last? Because I get like into... What happens to me is I'll like get hooked on a song and then I listen to that song like
over and over. Yeah, I know that
thousands of
vibe.
times and then I can't listen to it again. So then I like get into it. And also, I feel like I can't remember things that I return to.
My
a
favorite
lot.
band is the 50 Goes West soundtrack. The soundtrack.
Why was I trying to answer seriously? What is wrong with me? I was like, oh my God, what is my favorite song?
I don't know if I
should have just said like the sound of my own farts.
It's not
What am I doing?
50 grows breasts. It's like it's where 50 becomes trans.
Dun 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 dun. 50 grows breasts. 50 grows breasts. 50 grows breasts.
50, what are you doing? You can't grow breasts and become a girl. Papa, I want to become a lady. You can't be a girl, 50. Please, what are you doing to your father? And the cats are like all right guys or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Richard Spencer, they got the little side cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're also saying I'm actually gonna script it and then just do all the voices for the podcast at some point.
No.
But my spec script for The Simpsons where Homer gets red pilled and then Marge has to tolerate him like finding out about like the all right and stuff. And he's like, Marge, did you know that the Jews are using cultural Marxism to turn Bart gay? Homer, stop reading those websites. Marge, I've got great news. I'm teaching Milhouse how to fuck Lisa. Homer, stop that. No, it'll be good for Milhouse and Lisa's too uppity. I'm worried she's going to accuse somebody of rape when she goes to her smart girl college. So that's the idea for the, you know.
I pitch in, but I can't do any impressions.
Yeah, there's no resolution to the episode.
It's like caramba for the whole family.
Have you heard about this new website? It's called Stormfront. I can't do Burns, really.
Oh, Smithers, man.
Yeah.
So ahead of his time.
Mr. Burns? I'm gay. You're fired. Good news, they finally fired that queer. Right, Marge. Remember that queer I've been complaining about for 30 seasons? They finally fired him. Homer, stop calling him that. What? I just learned the word. They use it. They like being called that. Oh my, you're still using it in a derogatory way. They put the Q in the LG thing. It's not my fault. You can't be fucking mad at me because
525,600 Simpsons.
How many before they cancel that show?
Rent always reminds me how homophobic Woodbridge, Virginia is, because I I was telling you before we started this shit, I used to work at AMC when Rent was out, and after a movie's done, they used to give us like the billboards. You could call dibs on the display shit. So I was like, yo, Rent's the hottest shit at the theater right now. I'm calling Rent. I'm gonna flip that shit on eBay. Get this money. And like, before I could even take the shit out of the lobby, these two gay dudes rolled up on me and was like, what's up with that? What you about to do with that? And I was like, psh, it's yours. $50. You gotta take it out of here yourself. And it was like, hell yeah. And then like some dudes that I worked with like saw me like, oh, what was you doing with them? I was like, dude, I just sold these guys. They were like trying to give me shit for like doing business with gay people.
Wow.
Like legit.
That's even worse than just. It's not even about the movie. It's
Marge,
like
you don't understand. It's about freedom of association. It's not racist. It's libertarian.
Oh yeah,
You know me. You know I'm a libertarian. Sorry.
I was like, damn, I can't take no money from them for real.
That's
y'all crazy. Yeah, it was pretty weird.
I wonder
where those dudes are. Hope y'all are listening.
that's
Hope you
what
still
I'm
got that
thinking.
rent piece.
I hope
They're having
they've.
sex
I hope
on
they've
top of
learned.
that
rent
Yeah.
billboard.
God damn it, if I'm lucky,
Yeah.
I hope I'm.
Maybe they
a
were
part of
hoping that
you
you
know
would
what
be
I'm saying?
like, oh, I'm like setting something up for later.
You
And
just
they
turn
would be
around
like,
and they're like burning it, and they're like, "Yeah, being gay is wrong."
like, oh
Wrong to
shit,
be
dude.
gay.
That would have been nuts, man.
Tying Matthew Shepard to the billboard, They're beating him to death. That would be really funny if they had tied Matthew Shepard to a Rent billboard instead of a fence. That would be a good sketch comedy bit, I feel.
Yeah, I could see that on Saturday Night Live.
Right.
Yeah, especially today. I feel like it's
Yeah.
topical.
You
People
have
want
to see
it.
Melissa McCarthy's impression of the guy that beat Matthew Shepard to death.
That's where I was going to, actually.
Yeah, that's Sean Spicer. What a card, huh? Hiding in the bushes. I can't get enough of these Republicans.
What'll they do next?
Dude, I found this thing, this shitty ass website that's like the best
Oh, it's
Donald Trump
so
jokes
good.
and tweets and burns about Donald Trump. And it's all like, it's some fucking like limp dick 50-year-old poet. It's like his own website, and he like put together like, you know, it's like quotes from like, you know, Jon Stewart and like Stephen Colbert, like just the fucking like liberal hit squad.
Yeah,
baby.
all the hits, baby.
Like,
Yeah.
all the fucking Trump. I don't think so. You know, like those guys. And then like Garrison Keillor.
Well, then it's like he makes up his own, and
Yeah,
it
he
just
has
goes
his
off.
own.
It like goes off the rails.
Right. His are like just peppered in there, and they're like the worst jokes you've ever read in your entire life. Like Trump Putin can't wait to fly on his new plane, Air Force 1 years old.
Oh boy.
Yeah, or they'll be like one of them was like a
cuz.
traitor, an old man, and a bad guy walk into a bar.
Yeah.
It's all Donald Trump.
One of them was like, how does Donald Trump repudiate Martin Luther King's theory that all men are created equal? Answer: he's not equal to Dr. King or any human being capable of displaying compassion.
It's like an Angel Fire site with
It is.
It is. That's how it looks.
with a
crazy.
custom cursor.
Yeah.
With sprinkles off and shit.
It's like older. It's like fucking older, like just dumbass fucking liberals that like. I just imagine them at home, like scrolling through the Wikipedia page for humor, and they're like, You know?
Oh, it dates back to the ancient
Yeah,
Egyptians, does it?
Oh, I'm familiar with human. You mean the good Sir Jonathan Swift, perhaps? Yes, humor is a literary device I've employed in many of my conversational endeavors. For example, the other day I called the president quite an embarrassing buffoon. If you want to,
Had a good chuckle.
yeah. If you want any idea of my ability, one time I intimated that his genitals were small, which, you know, if you catch my drift.
I happen to notice, perhaps you all have, he seems to be rather attracted to his daughter.
He wants to fuck per se, but spelled
Like that term.
F-U-Q-U-E, the intelligent form of fuck.
The internet makes me feel bad for old people, man.
Yeah.
I know.
It really
It's
fuck.
hard.
Well, it reminds me of I had this. My friend growing up, his like parents were like, I think his dad was like a scientist and his mom was a lawyer, but they were like just old like Jewish liberals, and they used to like just love Bill Clinton jokes. Like, they would like tell like, what does a vending machine and Monica Lewinsky have in common? They both have a slot that says "Insert Bill here." Like, just cackling. I remember being like 8 and being like, "Yeah, that's not fucking fun."
Yeah. Once again, not
idiot.
enough.
I do remember my dad and stepmom like just reading the I guess the impeachment proceedings about the oral sex and like cracking up at it, which like my parents are Dems and stuff and they are they were DNC Clinton people, whatever, but just like laughing hysterically because they just got to read all this like just them being like, and he took his penis and inserted it into her mouth, and she then I didn't know it. I was like 12, so I had no idea what was going on.
I remember like that friend, me and my other friends, we would laugh about the idea of his parents having sex because they were like just the most non-sexual kind of like gross, boring people.
They were never within an arm length of each other.
We would make fun of him by like talking about his parents having sex all the time. Because it was
like, stop!
Yeah, I'd be like, stop
My
talking
parents
about
fuck, okay?
My parents don't have sex. We were like, we know. That's why it's funny. Because they definitely don't have sex with each other.
Man, shout out to my parents for not giving a fuck about politics. My mom was just like, you better vote Democrat, and I don't give a shit why. And then when any story would come out, she would just be like,
Yeah. My mom doesn't vote, I don't think. I don't think she votes at all. I don't know if my dad voted. My dad was like, I kind of like Jeb, I guess. He's like, Jeb seems all right.
Oh, bless his
I
heart.
have so many questions.
Yeah, I think he was like a fan of Jeb and then voted for Hillary Clinton.
I was with Jeb for a second. I was rooting for a fist fight. I thought Jeb was gonna like freak out and literally swing on this nigga because he was just like,
he's a bitch. Though.
Yeah, Trump was just calling him a bitch for months, and I figured by the 100th time,
well, Trump did that to all of them.
Like knuckle
None
up.
of them could fucking hit. Dude, he was so great.
That was the
primary.
only good part of that.
all he had
was just watching them
that's
all.
what I couldn't understand. Is like, you guys are clearly losing. Like, just stop trying to.
I know.
Just call him a bitch back,
so
and everybody
weird.
will go nuts.
Yeah, all you have to do is like fight on his level, but they can't.
If
That's
Hillary
the thing,
called
they
Trump a
couldn't.
bitch once, she would have won the whole Midwest, dog. Kansas would have flipped. You know what I mean? Because the votes were so close.
Yeah.
Just hearing her say bitch once.
Yeah.
Dude, he was so good. He should just. I feel like the reason he's doing so poorly is because he doesn't have the opportunity to debate people.
Yeah, no, he needs that like freestyle battle.
He should
you know
just
what I'm
be
saying?
debating people constantly. There should never be any kind of
every daily debate. You know?
Yeah, right.
Put him in a fucking...
You know what? There should be an executive order saying Rosie O'Donnell has to debate him every day.
I would pay for that shit on pay-per-view.
Look, she's a vile hog. You bring her here. We're debating her in the rose garden. That way we don't have to smell how much of a pig she is. We can be surrounded by the roses. Smell. Look. I'm not trying to be mean, but she's a hog.
And they
She's
just
a
keep cutting
genuine
off her
pig.
mic.
Yeah.
One of them fools in
Oh,
the
it must be
18
the apple in her mouth.
One of them fools in the 1800s did that to somebody for sure. Because you know what I'm saying, they don't have like all the press from Zachary
Yeah, they
Tyler's
just had
term.
to like go
You know what I'm
around
saying?
debating people.
Yeah.
You had to be like, hey everybody, we're going to be in this square for a while.
Yeah. It was
And
weird.
then-
You just became
Come
president
through.
by like riding a train around waving to people from
Yeah.
the back of it.
That's how Jimmy Carter became president. He just shook a bunch of people's hands.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the reason that the whole election season is so long is because of Jimmy Carter.
I thought he sucked the Ayatollah off. I thought that's how I got it.
Oh, maybe. I haven't heard that. He
soon?
would. He's a
Yeah.
very generous man.
True.
He would do it.
He sucked the Ayatollah off.
Yeah.
Ayatollah Khomeini, was that
Yeah.
the 70s one?
I think so.
And this new one is Khamenei,
I don't know.
right?
That sounds right.
I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
you on that.
Did you see that when he tweeted fuck, what was it? It was the funniest tweet. It's like the
Ayatollah being on Twitter is already funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, no, it was something about
Oh, I
like
thought you meant Jimmy Carter.
well, it was so funny and like it was like Iran isn't as retarded as the United States. That's why we don't need things like free speech or whatever. He goes, yeah.
So much going on
Well,
there.
it was something he said it was something. Hold on, it was the way it was worded.
No. I want to
He was
believe it was that.
criticizing.
I just wanted to believe
it
that.
was those words, but it was phrased in a way where he's criticizing the United States for embracing free speech and by saying like negative things about Islam or Iran or whatever. And it's like, retarded states like the United States, think they can have free speech. And then the response to it was a bunch of like woke Americans being like, how dare you say retarded?
Like, prove the nigga right.
Like,
y'all are right.
It was so funny. It was like this perfect like balance of, all these people are terrible.
It's nice when everybody's
Good job,
wrong.
Ayatollah.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
We were
I
all
told
right.
you so. That's what I would change my name to.
Ayatollah. I don't know the next line, but
Khomeini.
yeah.
Ayatollah Khomeini.
Ayatollah Comey. Just Comey.
Yeah, just have Homer become the next Ayatollah.
Marge, do you know about these Muslims? They're trying to sneak into the country. Homer, stop reading Gavin McInnes. But Marge, he's so cool. I'm going to become a Proud Boy. Homer, what is that? Homer, why are you spending so much money on the Anthony Cumia Network? Marge, I like these shows. Marge, there's this guy, Louis J. Gomez, that I've been idolizing online. I'm going to start taking adult karate lessons so I can be more like Louis. I don't like how much time you're spending on podcasts. What's that? I can't hear you. I was listening to a podcast.
Y'all fuck with that Comey shit?
Yeah.
Ayatollah
Wait.
James Comey?
Ooh. Maybe that's the next step.
I tried to do a bit. I took it down immediately, but I just wrote. It was like a picture on Twitter, like Comey's other memo, and it just said "Black Lives Don't Matter." And I got
He said that.
Yeah. I bet he did. That's why I thought it would hit. Didn't hit.
Funny about FBI memos is like the FBI doesn't take notes when they fucking actually question a subject.
What?
Yeah, they just talk to
They
them.
just feel it.
They just talk to them, and then afterwards they go and then they jot down notes about what happened.
That's
Yeah,
terrible.
it's weird.
Yeah, that's straight
Yeah.
up. That's probably not good.
Well, I guess like from a psychological perspective, it's probably better to not be taking notes when you're talking to someone.
Yeah, only remember the greatest hits. I don't want to hear
But then
your
it feels
album
like you can
cuts.
just make stuff up
Yeah, you
about
can.
what you hear.
But
Yeah.
what's also fucked up is like you can make stuff up, but it's like it's pretty serious crime to lie to a federal agent.
Yeah.
So like depending they've like hung people up on like the way they word something. Where
Sure.
if you say I don't recall, or if you say no rather than I don't recall, like even if you legitimately don't remember, like that's you
What
run
if
into
you-
trouble there.
What if you say like, I don't even know, young?
Yeah. So if an agent just says
you say
like,
young is okay.
Yeah, that's
if
Then
an
you're
agent
about-
says like,
you're in the
oh well,
clear.
he told me this or that or
Yeah.
whatever, Marge, it's very fucked up.
All I know about the FBI is from what I watch on cop shows, like, and the police. Like, it always seems like the FBI is like fucking shit up.
They never want the
They come in
FBI to
late.
come in.
Yeah,
They think that they're
they're taking all the credit.
yeah.
they
They
got the
always
same suits on.
Right.
Who's in charge here?
Yeah,
Not anymore. This is my jurisdiction.
I need the files right now.
I've never seen a file in my life. That'd be a cool show about like an FBI agent that's illiterate. I don't know how to read. I got to feel. the feeler.
Read this 45 caliber. Yeah, pulls it on a 5-year-old. I don't
You know
know.
what'd be cool to be? Is a Texas Ranger.
Ooh, that's
What
it.
is the difference between a ranger and a police officer?
Well, if you're a
They're all police
ranger,
officers.
yeah.
oh, great.
The
It
Texas
just
Rangers,
sounds cooler.
The Texas Rangers are like Texas's like main investigative body. They're like the FBI of Texas.
It just
Yeah,
sounds-
because you know
So
Texas got
sounds
their own
much
thing.
cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta have special
Yeah.
names for stuff. They gotta feel better.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
basically like serve the purpose of they're the Texas State Police essentially, but they investigate,
Yeah, and they're legally allowed to kick niggas through plate glass windows.
Mm-hmm. That's in the Texas Constitution.
I assume they can just...
With the N-word. It's in there. Yeah. I wonder how many times the N-word appears in the Texas Constitution.
Gotta be 6. Yeah. My money's on 6.
6 flags.
Yeah.
6 flags, 6 N-words. 6 N-words over Texas.
Coincidence?
Yeah.
I think
6
not.
slurs over Texas. This is that to change the park's name. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
Yeah, Texas pride is like a thing. I've never been to Texas, so I feel like it's just something I don't fully understand.
I feel like it's mostly for people who move to Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of those like, I wasn't born here, but I got here as soon as I could, so I could affect the accent and become a fucking obnoxious piece of shit.
Get
Texas
boots,
forever.
big ass boots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Austin was filled with that.
Just clicking around in the
Pretend to be a
boots.
cowboy.
West Austin, yeah. It's like, oh yeah, they have the South Congress. It's all like fucking Los Angeles assholes. They're like, yeah, I gotta get some boots. I gotta go to the number one thing I have to do is go to Allen Boots and get like a fucking real Texan boot situation going on.
I remember I have like an aunt in Montana, and I was visiting her, and she's lived there for a while, but she was telling me about this like Swedish guy who moved to Montana because he wanted to be a cowboy, which was like just the cutest thing. And she was like, you know, he was so nice, and he was just walking around, but like he had the boots on and he had the pants, but everyone knew he wasn't a cowboy because he didn't have a snap button shirt. It was just like he didn't have the pearl, like the little pearl snap buttons.
Yeah.
And that's what you need.
There's
Also, he's Swedish, so I'm sure he's just like, oh, where's the cows?
Wrong kind of blonde, my man.
Why's that dude always eating meatballs?
Why is he always assembling
Who's this
furniture?
meatball dude over here?
Pickled herring.
Getting fucking lindenberry juice all over the goddamn taxidermy.
That fucking a stuffed muskrat with a little juice dripping off the sides.
He's goddamn juice all over the... Well, I tell you. Who the fuck? There's a Lego in my bear cape.
My bear cape. Why is he assembling furniture out on the goddamn range?
There's some other Swedish things, I guess.
Hockey, maybe?
Man, that ain't a horse, it's a Saab. He's got a Saab instead of a horse. What in tarnation?
He's very blonde. Why is he so blonde? He's got blue eyes, piercing blue, like the sea.
There's a German company that makes screws. These like
go on
self drilling screws. It's a company called Spax, and their spokesman is this weird German guy that's like obsessed with being a cowboy, and he's like a celebrity in Germany.
What?
For being like, cool, I'm the cowboy, you know. and they produce these promotional videos for their like line of screws with him. His name's Connie, I think, or Ronnie something. I fucking forget his name.
Ron Kami.
Yeah, it's like Ronnie Koner or something. And it's the most bizarre shit in the world, where it's him dressed up as a cowboy, but he's speaking German to the camera, and then they have to like dub over it with an actual cowboy, so like nothing matches up with his mouth. It's very... Here, let me pull it up. You
Well, I was just thinking, because so we got some like promotional material from Marlboro, which I don't know where the little magazine thingy went, but it's like, it's so weird to me, because I guess sometimes we buy cigarettes, and like, it's weird to me that they've stuck with the cowboy thing for so long, and that's what's supposed to like appeal to us as like two sort of generic,
motherfuckers in
you know,
East Hollywood
city. It's like, that's not why we smoke cigarettes. Like, that's not why a lot of people like just
figure out another
target,
get into it.
Find your demographic.
Yeah, give it in a night. Switch the packaging up. A little wooden box.
Figure it out. Like just maybe some. I don't know what it would be. People just smoking on the street. That's all I need. Somebody just standing outside of a restaurant smoking. That's that would trigger. You know, that would be enough for me to smoke a cigarette.
I'm gonna play this.
All right. Oh, this is.
Howdy, friends. Did you know that Spax is actually made in Germany? More than 50 million Spax are produced in Ennepetal each day. That's a whole lot, ain't it? So it's quality made in Germany.
Tight ass
You'll
shirt.
notice that through
He's
the
so
workmanship.
old.
Believe me. I put a rough figure on it, and I've used around 200,000 Spax in my house. To me, it's obvious that Spax is the best. Some can't decide what
Oh,
to
he's,
use
he's
which
wearing
Spax
overalls and a black cowboy hat, and
for.
then
They're all the same, ain't they?
just some.
Spax has
What
plenty
type
of
of
different
sunglasses
types
is that,
you
Janelle?
always get the best results without any stress. And you know that you should never save on
Oh,
materials.
just, straight up
Come and take a
wraparounds.
look,
Yeah, yeah,
and I'll
yeah.
show you my holy shrine. I've set up a new workshop, and I'll show you what you can use all the different types for.
Yeah, you can tell. You can hear that German on him.
He's even like walking upbeat.
So this is my main Spax
He's standing
warehouse
next to a
in
lot of
Texas
Spax.
Outpost.
It's just a whole wall full of Spax.
This Spax is
Ooh.
different to a cheap screw. Why is it different? The know-how that's put into it. And that's more than you think. The head has a breaking and cutting rib, for example. I'll take one
Oh,
of these
he's taking the
Spax.
Spax out.
Yeah.
How
it's-
long is this?
It's long because it's a promotional video made by the company, but
Oh, okay.
that's not going to translate well at all the podcast. It
Who
just
gives a
sounds like
shit?
a thing. But go look up the information on Spax
I still feel like it's
video.
very silly just hearing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
trying to
I
act
don't
like you're not German with them leather overalls on.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He's just walking around like clearly just a nice German countryside.
Yeah,
Get out of here. That's
Yeah.
not the American West.
German cowboy.
schnitzel in the face ass.
Just good teeth.
Marge,
Yeah.
I've
Nice
decided
teeth.
to move to Germany to help fight the Muslims that are taking over the country. Homer, stop doing this. Homer, please. It's me, your good friend, Christopher Walken.
Yes.
You gotta stop being racist towards Muslims. Homer, this alt-right stuff, it's not good. Great. To be honest with you, it makes me uncomfortable.
Got the choppers coming for us now.
Sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
They done
They
found
have
us.
been
They done found us.
fucking keeping me awake every night. Helicopters outside all the time.
So I
It's-
just typed in German cowboy and I'm inundated with pornography.
turn your safe search on.
German cowboy Ronnie.
He's not turning his- he's not gonna turn
There's
his
even
search.
more now.
Is one of them me
Hang
fucking
on,
a
I
horse?
think I have
Yeah.
a. I think my safe
Wasn't
search
it?
is on.
Paying for that extra.
Connie. It was something like that. Like Connie or...
German cowboy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna... Older man movies. Free porn movies. Cowboy
Ooh, the
culture.
cowboy novels that inspired Hitler.
Man, I cannot be less interested in watching old dudes fuck. That's probably my least touch genre of pornography.
Old dudes
just old
fuck?
old dudes fucking.
The first,
I
the one of the first like weird videos I saw online, it's these two older Japanese businessmen sitting next to each other on the couch, and they
Hell
start
yeah.
like rubbing each other's crotches through
Best
their
kind of
suits.
business.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then they just start passionately making out, and it was like
That
Yes.
sounds great.
it was very disturbing. It was like so much worse than if it was just two guys fucking each other in the ass. There was this weird,
It's too erotic.
Too sensual.
It's like too
something like that.
They
real.
make out and then they do a PowerPoint presentation about why they're not gay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my theory is that they were both Filipino slaves owned by Filipino Americans who all own slaves, by the way.
Hey,
Yeah, that's now the thing.
what can you do?
Mm-hmm.
I love.
It's a cultural thing.
I
You
had
can't
a
get
fucking-
around
I
it.
can't do
You know,
nothing.
It's cultural.
a field day finding like woke Twitter accounts justifying slave ownership in the context of
I
it
saw
being-
one that was like, "This is up for." It was like this is for Filipino Americans to discuss amongst themselves.
Yeah,
and I
right.
was like, well, I feel very comfortable being
Yeah,
like,
we can talk like,
no,
excuse
I
me?
don't like slavery.
I have
It made
thoughts.
me feel really good. I
Yeah,
was
that's-
like, ooh, I'm not involved, but I am going to judge.
Every
Yeah.
Filipino, Manny Pacquiao's trainer, white slave.
Manny Pacquiao, slave.
Slave.
That's
It's cyclical, circular.
yeah, it's sort of like a Ponzi scheme of slavery.
It's a circle of slaves.
Yeah, this is the best tweet I found on it from Hannah Welch. It's a
Ooh,
white
name
woman.
names.
Big ups.
White woman. The Atlantic's My Family's Slave piece keeps reminding me of S-Town, a beautifully told story that we probably don't have the right to read.
Great
They
point.
wrote it in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
It don't get no whiter, man.
Yeah,
Read it.
That's
Oh, I found this in my notes also, next to that tweet I had saved. I wrote this to myself. A sketch show where the Property Brothers rape Lights Camera Jackson. That's not one of the... It's not one of the sketches. It's the whole show. It's every sketch.
It's all sketches, but the sketch is the same sketch.
I typed that into my phone before going to bed last night.
You put a little sleep hat on. Fucking
Night.
hit the clapper.
just like telling yourself a bedtime story.
All right,
much.
Nick. And it's the Property Brothers, but
You're just like, your eyes are all fluttering. You're like, will you tell me the same story tomorrow?
I don't understand Lights Camera Jackson's deal, but I feel like he deserves to be violated by the Property Brothers.
Lights Camera Jackson, is that another
He's like
show on the same channel?
No, he's like he's a Twitter guy, right?
He's a boy that reviews movies.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Sounds like it. I was like, this is some child shit.
Boy, yeah.
Some
It's
Disney
definitely,
shit.
hopefully, a child and not an adult with
45-year-old
man. Lights,
Yeah.
Camera, Jackson.
Marge, I've been getting really into the Property Brothers. That's good, Homer. I want them to rape Lights Camera Jackson. Homer, please. It's an exasperated Marge. Marge, I've become an irony bro.
What would it take for Marge to leave on some real shit?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Homer almost killed her a few times.
Yeah.
I thought
The kids.
they got divorced
They got
and
divorced and
once
Homer was
some.
dating Lena Dunham like 2 seasons ago.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I missed
Yeah,
that.
don't-
Makes sense, though.
Yeah, I mean,
How about an episode
Of course,
where,
Lena would hit it next.
where Lisa has to get Homer
Ridiculous.
kicked out of the DSA because Homer used to use the N-word on Twitter?
I think that's a real. Yeah,
That'd be if Marge, Lisa's trying to get me kicked out of the DSA because she found out about my pre-woke period. Homer, everyone's happy for you that you're woke now, but you can't demand to be in black spaces. But I want to be in black spaces. Carl gave me permission. Homer, that wasn't Carl, that was Lenny. Yeah, Homer, I'm not the black one.
I wish I could do it, Carl. He's right.
I know.
Homer.
Yeah.
I
He's
feel
right,
it's
Homer.
hard because I
He's
feel
right.
like your impressions are so good that I feel bad chiming in with like a
yeah.
shitty impression.
I was going to give it the old college try there. Only Black Simpson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Figure I'd give it a run.
Lou.
Lou, Black Bart,
Black Bart.
Carl.
The child. There's
Oh, in
one
the
of
class,
their
yeah, there's like a
friends,
black
but I
kid in
the
tray,
can't.
yeah.
I don't know his name.
Wendell.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wendell.
They just let him cross his arms like a b-boy. He never had any lines. 40 years.
We're not gonna hire a black voice actor
Marge,
for
they
this.
kicked me out of the DSA.
Because he's listening to Gucci Mane.
Yeah. They found out I called somebody a faggot on Tumblr in 2010. Now I'm not allowed to be in the DSA anymore, Marge. You know how important socialism has been to me for the last 4 months? They can't take this away from me.
Homer with the rose emoji on his shit.
Yeah.
Homer with the rose Oh, we love you, Homer.
Oh, we're glad that you're woke.
Well, fuck it. I guess I might as well just be racist now. If they're not going to let me join the DSA, I'm going to start my own DS. It's just a Stonecutters episode, but it's the DSA.
Mm-hmm.
It's
He's got a birthmark that looks like a rose.
secret. Shut up. Guys, what's the DSA? It's a secret. How much? I wish I could do Lenny.
Give you a week. I feel like next week
it's a
you'll have
secret.
it. That's a pretty good Lenny in my off top.
Shut up. Just people asking Homer about the DSA.
Mm.
Shut up.
Are you a political group?
Shut up. Barney, do you want to join the DSA? You have to be that trans version of Barney from the episode where he quit drinking. Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, I'm off to market.
Yeah.
That's the Barney that's allowed in the DSA. This is the Marge Barney.
Yeah, why was he sober? Because he like got a girlfriend?
Nah, because there's that video of him at the party where he's like, "That's what I look like when I'm drunk."
Oh yeah, and he finally
And I
was
was
like,
like,
oh, shit.
"No, that's Fuck. Once I do Barney, I can't go back
Yeah,
to
but
Homer.
that's the switch. That's the kill switch.
No, that's no, it's gone.
Oh,
Damn, it is gone.
Well, it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, you had
No,
to-
that's a stage we call Professor Barney. This is what you look like when you're drunk.
Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm off to market. Barney, he goes, Marge, you're embarrassing us. Oh, it's just Barney.
And then there you go. I've recapped that
Yeah,
scene
that was a
for
great
you.
There you go.
episode. Thank
with
you.
vague approximations.
Mm-hmm.
nailed it though.
And
It was good.
that is a fun riff, though. DSA Homer.
Mm-hmm.
DSA Homer, Muslim band Homer,
Yeah.
Muslim band Homer's pretty great.
Filipino slave Homer.
Yeah.
Also a banger.
Marge, I'm Filipino now. I'm allowed to have a slave.
Homer, you're not Filipino.
But I'm yellow. You're yellow too. That's Filipino, right?
What if Matt Groening was like, what if Matt
We're
Groening was
supposed
like,
to be Chinese, aren't we? I mean, there are characters that are white on the show.
if Matt Groening was like J.K. Rowling and he just kept like revising The Simpsons over and over, and he was like, actually, they're all Asian, and Apu is like a Rachel Dolezal character,
If
and that's
they-
why Hank Azaria is playing her.
Mr.
And just, like, tried to
Simpson.
just
I have been
justify it.
Nigerian my entire life.
If they released that The Simpsons was all Filipino right now, the Philippines would shit. They'd be so happy.
It would be nice. I'm sure most of it is drawn in the Philippines at this point.
I had a Filipino homie in high school, and all I know about Filipino people is they are aware of every Filipino celebrity.
Yeah.
Like we were like juniors in high school, and he was telling me that.
All six.
Yeah.
Celebrities. The woman on the raisins box.
Yeah, I just remember him telling me
Pacquiao.
the new lead singer of Journey is Filipino. I'm like, dog, we're 16. The fuck?
Oh my God.
How'd you know?
Oh fuck, that's funny.
Marge, did you know the new lead singer of Journey is Filipino like us?
We're not Filipino, Homer.
Well, if I'm not Filipino, then why do I have a slave? Answer me that, genius.
Cut over to Millhouse,
Yeah.
just chained up.
Can I go home?
He loves it.
I want to go home.
Shut up, Bart's friend. Lola Millhouse. That's your new name.
You're doing it because you love Lisa.
Yeah.
If you want to marry Lisa, you'll make us dinner. Now go sleep on that laundry pile.
Oh man, the Simpsons are gonna send a lawyer like to all our cribs.
I'm being sued by The Simpsons for saying Homer is Filipino.
That would be like my proudest
I'm
moment.
gonna do a
Consider
spin-off.
yourself served.
I'm gonna do a spin-off that's just called the Homer Simpson Podcast.
I
I would listen to
think
you do
should.
that for
and it would be
an hour and a
convenient. You wouldn't
half,
even
bruh.
need. You wouldn't even need guests.
You know,
In fact, it would be hurt.
We got
if you
enough
had
money
guests.
coming in now off the premium episodes that, like, I was thinking about bankrolling a podcast network, and I had an idea to just pay 2 women to just talk about their feet and, like, putting on shoes.
Oh, for sure.
Ooh.
For
Which
an
would-
hour?
Hey.
which would crush.
Dude,
Hello.
yeah, no, if you want to, if you just want to be the woman, the 2 women that just talk about it. It's
I'll be
Feetcast.
I'll be the 2 women.
Yeah.
I don't want to split it
Feetcast.
with someone.
Funky
Hey, my
Feetcast?
feet.
No, just
wow,
Feetcast.
my feet smell.
You
what?
can't
My
be-
feet smell worse.
You can't keep a conversation going for a fucking hour with just one person. Unless Bill Burr is the only guy that can do it.
Yeah.
Oh, with just myself. But I'm pretending to be
two-man,
2
yeah.
people.
Anyhow, copyright.
Fine, I'll
me. No one
split
can
it
steal-
with someone else.
No one can steal my idea of hiring basically prostitutes to do a foot
Not,
fetish podcast.
podcasting is not prostitution
Yeah,
yet.
podcasting
The
is
law
not
has not
prostitution
caught
yet.
up to that. Technically,
Talking
you're right.
about your
you are
feet
right, but it's not yet.
is just
I'm a paralegal,
filling-
okay? And I know the boundaries. You're
I'm gonna
good.
be the
You're
Larry
what?
Flint
You're a
of
paralegal.
podcasting.
I'm a pair of legals.
Mm-hmm.
I think I still
Yeah.
remember
And
when
also
you sent me.
the 100% real official Homer Simpson podcast.
Hello, everyone. Dan Castellaneta here, voice of Homer Simpson. And you're listening to the Fox Presents, brought to you by Tide and Maybelline, Simpsons 100% copyright real trademark podcast. 100% legally allowed to be used. All this content belongs to us and is endorsed by both the Fox Network and
Tide and Maybelline.
and Tide and Viacom and everyone in the entertainment industry. Scientology told me to do this.
On a side note, I still tell people about when you sent me the mom's feet. Was it
yeah.
This is a
Did I
crazy
send that
YouTube
to
video.
you?
Yeah, man, it was like random as fuck. Like we hadn't talked in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you hit me up at like 1 in the morning, like
Yeah, I was
no
fucking
words.
drunk as
Yeah,
shit.
you just like fuck with this.
Yeah, and I like found this mom's feet on YouTube is like a great search. And I saw this one video where this guy's like just pulling off his mom's sock while she's asleep.
I
And
remember
then
this.
the camera's moving around, and then you just see his dick come up in the frame when he comes on her feet.
Like 4 seconds a day.
Nope, I don't.
He had that
remember
shit
this.
primed, yo.
Yeah,
Wasn't there
It
one?
was so good.
Wasn't there one where like somebody got upset that someone was filming her feet? I feel like that was a
Oh,
thing.
must have been. There's got at least only one video like that.
Only one that I
You
saw.
have one a week.
Where he's like filming, and she's like, "What are you doing?"
That's half of Vimeo.
Marge, I'm really into feet now.
Just women being upset that they're being filmed. Yeah.
Homer, did you put a video of Lisa's feet on the internet? No.
He just tiptoes out.
Homer, lock this door. What are you doing in there? Well, I'm not uploading videos of Lisa's feet to the internet, that's for certain.
I want to dial up.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, that was a fun episode. You guys
Hell yeah, man.
were good, and
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
it's Cumtown
Thanks,
West.
thanks
it.
for having
Thanks for
us.
having us,
Can't
man.
wait for
Yeah,
Come
all
down
out there, whatever.
Instagram.
Thanks for
I'm on the
listening.
internet. Fuck with me.
Yeah, guys.
Mhm.
If you enjoyed Dana and Jamel's got his own podcast called
Airbuds.
and Dana's works at some job. So if you want to
She
stop,
got a
hanging
job.
out. Follow me on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, nonprofit
I'm doing
comic
stuff.
on Twitter.
It's
What's your
not-
Twitter, G?
Dana C. Bell.
There you go.
I'm working on stuff.
And starting next week, I'll be back in New York with
2 slices of pizza.
yeah.
Oh, that's what he
The
calls
boys.
them.
Yeah.
He calls them his 2 slices.
My 2
of
slices.
pizza. My
My
2
two favorite slices.
My
My
New
two
York
large-
slices.
My 2 large sons.
Yeah.
My two
Oh.
big baby boys.
Can you get that done legally? Can you just make them like your, executors to your will and your kids?
Yeah, probably.
Bet.
Mm-hmm.
Lock that down.
Oh, okay. Well, good night.
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 Lock that down.
Oh, okay. Well, good night.